What's up, guys? This is episode 2 of our ESO Let's Talk series, where I basically cover some particular topics of ESO and give you guys my personal opinion and personal feedback and some general ideas to pretty much what I think would be good to add on to their game. But this is all coming from me. This is not coming from a professional standpoint, so let's go on to it. Today in this episode, we'll be talking about developing your own character in this game. And this doesn't really apply to the classes, because I would have mentioned it in that video, but in this video, we're actually going to be talking about what is different developing your character in past ESO or Elderscrolls games. And since this is an MMO, creating your character is going to be kind of like an MMO kind of thing, but I'm just going to kind of compare other I keep on wanting to say ESO games, but there is no ESO games other than the one that's going to come out. So, developing your own character, it's going to be pretty interesting what they're going to do. Well, not really interesting, but it's pretty much straightforward what they're doing. What I like is that I read in the article that they said they weren't going to strictly, like, whatever your class you picked, you weren't, like, going to be in a strict kind of scenario situation to where if you picked mage, you would have to use all mage stuff. That's not the case. Pretty much you can use whatever the heck you want. Like I said, if you go watch my episode 1, it pretty much talks about you can literally be an assassin wearing, like, I guess, heavy armor. But I think I read in the comments below that there's apparently going to be heavy armor, light armor, and medium armor, so maybe they're probably applying to medium armor. But pretty much, like I said, you're not going to be strict to using a certain type of, I guess, weapon. So I really like how it's much more in Skyrim, you know, well, sort of, is that what's different with Skyrim is that when you're picking your race, you go out, and you get good at whatever you're going to try to do. That's pretty much what Skyrim was. You just get good at what you wanted to be good at. Oblivion and Morrowind was a little different. It kind of applies to ESO a little bit because you have this class system, right? So everyone needs to pick a race, a faction, and I guess a class. And I like that in Oblivion. I really like Oblivion because, I don't know, they just had so much customization to how you can develop your character. But in ESO, they're pretty much like everything that you do and every level you gain, you also gain a skill point. So it's basically you level up, you get a perk pretty much, just like in Skyrim, just a little bit. And you also have the ability to choose what you want to put. More points in health, or more points in magicka, or more points in stamina. And really, you really gotta be careful. Like, this game is gonna be very, very, like, there is no going back. There is no, like, resetting your stuff. So, I would really be careful what you choose when you're leveling up, when you're developing your character. So, if you want to be a mage, put more stuff into your magicka, of course, and then put more stuff into health. That's kind of how I would do it. And then if you're playing like a damage dealer sort of guy, put more in stamina, and then next put stuff in health. And then warrior, put more stuff in health, and it pretty much just goes like that. Like, I'm not much of an expert on character builds, but that's kind of how I would do it. And I don't know. With all the races, I don't really think, I haven't read anything actually that if races are going to be like, I guess, a minor benefit depending on which race you pick. Maybe, but so far I haven't heard anything or read anything about it, because I'm assuming they're going to have this like, well, if you're a dark elf you get this ability, and if you're a Nord you, like, maybe if they do add that I wouldn't be surprised because it is an Elderscrolls game. So I wouldn't be too shocked if they did that. So, and then when I kind of mentioned the classes in episode 1, there's 4 classes. Like, I read a question this guy put on their webpage, and he said, would you be able to reset your perk points. And the dude was like, no, there's no going back. You cannot like change your class or anything. Like whatever you choose and whatever you like choose to do well in, that's gonna be what your character is gonna be specialized in. And I don't know. For me, I liked Skyrim how they did it, but I also kind of like it how Oblivion did it. Most people like how Skyrim did their character development of, you know, creating your character and all that. But in my personal opinion, both ways is still good because as long as I have the ability to customize my character, I'm okay. But if I didn't, then I guess I wouldn't. But so that pretty much covers that. I should probably cover more topics because some topics will be, you know, already mentioned and covered quite fast. So I guess I'll go on to the next topic I would like to talk about, and that's the chat box. For the Xbox One and the PS4, the chat box, I'm hoping they're adding a chat box. They have to, because if they didn't, then messaging people on text on the Xbox and the PS4 is going to be a little difficult, you know. So, and then I guess hopefully they make it to where the voice chat isn't too wonky. And when I mean wonky, I mean to where you heal, or not heal, but if you hear people, like if there's 100 people in the server and they're all talking at the same time, well, I guess you have party chats to kind of fix that. But I mean, you should just kind of do it to make it in Call of Duty to where if you killed someone, you're able to hear them rage, like saying "fuck," like all that. You know, they should just kind of do that. But I mean, that's game chat. Like, I kind of doubt people would go to game chat. Generally, people should go to party chat because I don't know, party chat's more convenient. Either that or Skype, depending if that's going to be on. I'm assuming it's going to be on the Xbox One. I'm not sure if it's going to be on the PS4. But yeah, so that, the chat box, and then I also want to cover the first person and the third person perspective. Now, to us Elderscrolls players, first person is probably a dream come true, right? That's not the case. We have these other people, MMO players, that think first person is a bad idea. Because when I was reading comments of a video I saw when this guy was mentioning the first person being announced on ESO, you had this whole section of comments, pretty much Elder Scrolls fans and MMO fans. The MMO fans, they said that, oh, that's not fair. First person gets or third person gets a more advantage of first person. And what I think they should do is that to make first person like beneficial to actually go into, like I would go on to it either way. I don't even care if like my view is like limited, because first person, I like third person, but I prefer third person shooters, not so much like melee type of MMO tactics, you know. That's just me. But what I think they should implement with their first person perspective is that they should make you able to like sound horror way more better than the third person perspective. Because if you think about it, first person perspective, I mean, the camera's obviously closer, so you should be able to hear like sounds way better. Like, I don't know how that would be an advantage, but I don't know. Because what I think they're also going to do, it's going to help when you're doing like, when your whole friends are like killing monsters. I'm assuming they're going to add sounds to these monsters to where they'll give signals of what like moves they would do. So if a monster was like going to do a very deadly special move, you would hear like that sound. You'll be like, oh, everybody like block, or I don't know. I'm not much of an MMO like type of players, but that's, I'm assuming, that what they should do in order for the first person to actually be beneficial to go into. So I mean, I don't really see the problem, because I mean, just don't go on to first person. I mean, but I don't know. And lastly, I kind of want to talk about is the PvP real quick. The PvP is confirmed that you can have plus 20 members of your team when you're doing PvP. So if you're the type of person that enjoys PvP, then PvP sounds like it's gonna be pretty hype. That's all I know. So I'll probably mention that in another video, but yeah guys, sorry this video really didn't mention anything in depth that well. Like I said, some topics are gonna be pretty much easy to cover in like 3 minutes, so I have to figure out other topics, you know. I can't just like stick to one unless I really have like something to say about that particular topic. But I'm also gonna say something about my channel because I pretty much don't have anything else to talk about ESO. So again, I was gonna do something very special on this episode, but then like I had a very special project I was working on for this Let's Talk, but I mean, since this Let's Talk isn't really that hype, I guess, but for those of you that, you know, are interested in listening to what I have to say, then I guess you can like this video if you liked it. But I finally finished this special project I was working on. So in the next Let's Talk episode 3, I'll be doing something kind of special to that video, and probably for the rest of my videos, because it's pretty much going to be a new thing that I'm going to add to this certain series just to keep the hype, the entertaining aspect of these videos. And yeah, don't mind that tea bag, I didn't mean to tend it to. But yeah, also what would help guys is that if you can leave a comment below of what you would like me to talk about of ESO and maybe the Elderscrolls, about Bethesda and all that. Leave it down below because I can use some of your guys' feedback on what you want to hear. That way it can kind of help me and guide me to what I want to talk about in the next video. So if you have any sort of topics you want me to cover, please leave them in the comments below, as well as liking the video with a like rating. And yes, this video is pretty much over. I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.